It's still happening, and I witnessed it 2 days ago, and I got absolutely shocked.
So Vikas bhai, I need to tell you a small story. What happened recently? So on both of my motorcycles, I have noticed that there's a drastic, drop in the fuel efficiency. And in spite of getting my bike serviced properly at a regular interval, checking the air filters and everything that you have helped me out with that in the last few weeks, I've noticed that the culprit was somebody else actually. So,
Hmm.
I've noticed that whenever I'm filling from a particular petrol pump in near my place, so it's in near Newtown in Kolkata. So that particular
Mm-hmm.
pump, and I was getting a lower number of mileage. And
So I
yes, brother,
also have a story to tell in this regard. That
sure,
is exactly 2 days ago.
right,
What happened is that since you all know I work in the nights, I
right,
love riding a motorcycle in the nights. So I was riding back home from my software office,
okay,
and I generally fill petrol in my motorcycles around 3:30 or 4 in the morning. And so here in Hyderabad, I went to a fuel station, and I regularly go to that fuel station.
right,
All right. And I fill full tank on my Impulse or Interceptor.
right,
But this time it was the Impulse. So generally, when I fill a full tank on the Impulse, the cost is not more than 1,000 rupees full
right,
tank. It comes to about 950, 980 rupees, not more than that. So now here, let's talk about the technical things. That is, the reserve fuel capacity of Impulse is about 2.5 liters. Okay. But let us say that my motorcycle got to reserve and I rode a little bit. So let's think I have about 1.5 liters in reserve. Okay. So when I fill a full tank, the maximum tank capacity of the Impulse is 11.1 liters. So let us simply think 11
right,
liters. Okay. So, me paying about 1,000 rupees for a full tank is more or less understandable. Okay. I would get about 9 liters or so. But 2 days ago, what happened is that with the same level of confidence that, okay, I'm going to fill full tank, and uh, last evening my motorcycle got into reserve. So, it'll be about 1,000 rupees. I went to the fuel station, and I always be very careful. We have to discuss about this also. So probably in the coming podcast we will discuss.
sure,
Whenever we are going to fill petrol in our motorcycle, we have to understand a few safety factors so that there is no fire accident that is going to happen, and if it happens, what to do. Anyhow, so with all the safety precautions, I was ready. That gentleman was filling petrol. Of course, I told him full tank, and I was focusing on the tank just to make sure it doesn't overflow. And we filled up. I looked onto the left side at the machine, the pump, and it is 1,310 rupees. I was shocked.
there's no
How,
way
how,
your motorcycle has
correct?
that much of capacity. It's funny.
So, 1,310 rupees and 12 liters of petrol went into the tank is what the
I think
reading is saying.
11, your capacity was 11 liters, I think. I'm not sure.
That is correct. You can
Right.
Google it. Can you, Google it right
Yes,
now?
sure, brother.
So, yeah, just simply type Impulse 150 fuel tank capacity.
Fuel tank capacity is not even, yeah, it's, see, 11.1 liters,
Correct.
including the 2.6 liter of reserve. So I'm
Reserve.
sure your bike was not on reserve.
It was on reserve, but after getting into reserve, I only rode for about 5-6 kilometers,
Wow.
which is
So it is
nothing.
nothing negligible. So
Correct.
this is not this is fishy.
So let us take 2 liters were already there in reserve.
Right.
Okay. And another 12 liters
There's no way.
got filled in. Okay, let's just think that. So that means 14 liters should be there in the tank.
Wow.
It's not possible
The
at
new
all.
Expulse
Correct?
doesn't even have that.
So I was shocked. Now there was a huge line of motorcycles behind me.
Right.
There were almost 10 to 15 motorcycles. So I did not wish to stand there, argue, or do anything. So
Exactly.
I thought, you know what? Let's just go. Let's think about this. So at that point of time, another fact was that I exactly did not know what was the fuel tank capacity of my Impulse.
Right.
Okay, so I left from that place anyway. After getting back home, this was on my mind. It was eating my head that something is wrong. So I sat down, did the calculations, and now you all tell me. Okay, you all tell me. I want to know. Isn't this a case of cheating? Because there is no way in the world that even 12 liters can get into the tank of my Impulse.
Exactly.
Correct? Even if it was absolutely dry, even if one drop of petrol was not there
It would be
in my
10.5
Impulse,
liters at most, or even 10. I don't think so, not even 10. I mean,
even if
yeah,
company specified 11.1 liters, we fill.
right.
Okay. So, I mean, even if my tank was completely dry, it will only be 11.1 liters. So here, it was shocking. It was, I mean, see, the thing is that definitely there was some malpractice, some foul play,
Yes.
where some kind of software, firmware was adjusted in that pump.
Yes, Vikas bhai. And
But here the shocking thing is that if they do some adjustment of 5%, 6%, where, for an example, they are showing overreading of 5-6%, we can understand. But here,
it says a
there's an
lot.
overreading of 30%.
Easily.
Correct? Because generally, I do the same practice after getting into reserve. I go to the petrol bunk,
Right.
fill full tank. It doesn't cross 1000. But here is 1310 rupees. So 30% is
This is a
unbelievable.
lot. And while doing the research, Vikas bhai, about petrol
Mhm.
pump scams, I was able to, shortlist some categories. I mean,
Mhm.
this research I was also doing for our news channel, that is the Inline 4 News. So I
.com.
Inline
Yeah.
4 News.com. So I am not sure if our audience is still aware of this, but we are working on this, and we are gonna make it very big. So
We now have our own news entity
exactly.
in the motorcycle segment.
And yeah, Vikas bhai. So I was doing the research on this article that we decided to do a podcast on. So there's a lot of types of common petrol pump scams that motorcyclists have reported over the past couple of years, I would say. So this comes under meter tampering. So this is complete daylight. They're cheating. They're cheating us. This is fraud.
I have a question, Joe.
Yes,
Now
Vikas bhai.
here, see, olden times, that is 15, 20 years ago,
Right.
when fuel stations had manual fuel pumps where the reading was analog.
Right.
That time, I remember a lot of these scams used to happen where the analog meters used to get tampered. But today, it could be Bharat Petroleum, it could be Indian Oil, any of these petrol stations, they only have these new high-end digital fuel pumps.
Right.
Correct? So, who has the access to tamper them? I believe that even the petrol bunk owner might not have the access to get into the firmware or the software of that pump.
Exactly.
Correct? Yeah, only Indian Oil or Bharat Petroleum should have it logically. So, if there is a scam happening, then this is a very high level scam. It is not only at the petrol bunk owner level.
Right.
Correct?
Yes, because
The
right.
person who is visiting to service these pumps is probably tying up with the petrol bunk
Correct.
owner and tampering the software. But again, tell me, is that software so easy to be tampered? That software or firmware belongs to multi billion dollar companies like Indian Oil and Bharat Petroleum.
Correct.
So, is it so easy to be tampered? So it is very difficult to believe that something like this is happening. I almost thought that those days are over,
Right.
and these days, uh, uh, petrol bunks don't cheat us so
But it's
brutally
still
with
happening.
regards to, yeah, it's still happening, and I witnessed it 2 days ago, and I got absolutely shocked. 30%. Now tell me, Zoe,
Yeah.
fortunately, I make some above average amount of income per month.
Right.
Okay, so for me, that 300 rupees might not destroy my day or my week or my month. But whenever you go to a petrol bunk, what you notice is the poverty which is there in our country, you will see at a petrol bunk. Okay, most of the people who are there are filling petrol, which is worth 50 rupees, 100 rupees, which is not even a liter.
Right.
Correct? Okay. So, I mean, my heart, it hurts. I mean, I feel bad. I empathize with them that these people are working so hard. Okay. And 100 rupees is what they can afford to fill in as petrol into their into their motorcycles. So, now when petrol bunks are cheating them, it
Yes.
is such a sin, such a crime, such bad karma. Correct?
Right. And because by may I know, like roughly you have been cheated by somewhat around 200, 300 rupees, right?
Correct?
Correct. So
300. Yeah.
so that is only from you. I wonder how many of these people they have, cheated in the whole day. So
Now imagine it's a motorcycle, so at least I could
yeah,
understand the difference.
but
Like, motorcycle tanks are small.
right.
Okay. Now imagine if I would have taken my Skoda Superb, I say full tank. And Superb full tank, I think some, I don't know, 55, 60 liters tank.
Right.
Okay. So there I won't even know. Exactly, right?
Yes, brother.
Because we don't wait till the car gets to the reserve and then fill petrol. So we be a little more generous and we don't do micromanagement when it comes to the calculation of how much we are filling into a car. So uh, there probably the scams go up to 1,000 rupees per car.
Easily. I'm pretty sure. And
Correct. So this is shocking, beyond shocking.
yes, brother. So I like this is one of the scam type of scam that you have faced. I had faced something related to quality of the fuel,
Mm,
because I was getting the actual number of liters in filled in, and
mm.
in spite of that, I noticed that only that particular petrol pump had that issue. Like the and it was not just me. I posted this few months ago in a like a community, like a people community of people of that area region, and surprisingly, a lot of people have actually faced that, and they were like, "Oh my
What
god!"
exactly happens? Can you
Right.
explain this to me again?
So the nearest fuel pump, uh, I usually go there and I used to get a full tank of petrol on all my bikes. Even I had the Shine for a few months, if you remember, because bike. And
Yes.
I mean, Shine is not a motorcycle that will give you a low mileage. There's no way. There is no way you're going to get even 50. 50 is low for that motorcycle. So
Yes.
surprisingly, I got very low mileage on that Honda Shine. And I
Hmm.
was surprised. So I knew that there was something wrong with this particular petrol pump. And I
Yeah.
posted, this thing that I had a doubt about this particular petrol pump located at this place. And you would be shocked to know that I got so many comments flooding in that, okay, hey, I think I'm your neighbor and I face the same on my new car. And somebody
So
else
you mean to
comment,
say the
a lot of people,
quality of the fuel was the problem? Is
right?
it not the
Not
quantity?
the quantity, yeah. It was something to do with the
Okay.
quality. And
Hmm.
I mean, a lot of this thing have I saw a lot, read a lot of comments, and after a few days, I actually saw somebody, filing a actual complaint against that petrol pump, and he posted the screenshots and everything. Unfortunately,
Hmm.
we can't share it here. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, see, we can. It is just that we have so many things to do in our
right,
life. We don't want to get into an unnecessary
headache.
uh, headache, legal battle
Right.
with these multi-billion-dollar companies. We will
Yes.
do it someday with our news entity, but yeah, not now.
And yeah, Vikas bhai. So,
Uh
how did I cross verify this thing? I mean,
huh.
I was having doubt in the quality of fuel. So I went to the another petrol pump, which was recommended by other people of that area, and uh, shockingly, I was getting better mileage in all my
Hmm.
motorcycles. So it's not that okay, maybe the Honda has something wrong with the engine. The Honda gave me like something like 70 kilometers per liter consistently.
Lovely.
And same thing with my, recently my X-Pulse, I am getting it done from there only. I am getting a good
Hmm.
number, 37, 38 kilometers per liter. That's I mean, decent
Good.
number for this motorcycle. So yeah, the quality is also a kind of a
They
scam.
are mixing.
Right,
Basically, they are mixing petrol with some other thing.
right,
So, because of which, what is happening is that the combustion is not happening well. The
right,
fuel is not burning well. And if it doesn't burn well, it doesn't produce the
right,
bang, the torque in the combustion stroke. And if that bang is not good, then enough torque is not produced.
right,
If enough torque is not produced, you will have to open more throttle. When you open more throttle, you're burning extra fuel again.
right.
So the whole process and the cycle will make sure you get very less fuel efficiency for the same amount of fuel.
And because
So,
I had an
hmm,
insider news on this.
hmm.
My friend Harsh, one of his cousin has an actual petrol pump, like he owns it. So through him, he told me that
Let's get him onto the
we
podcast.
will surely
We
get him.
we will
Yeah,
what we'll do is we'll put a light from behind so that we don't show his face.
we will do that. But what he told me
Yeah.
that Zoe, you should do some research on the storage of fuels as well, because petrols, like with ethanol mixed, there's a percentage of ethanol that is being mixed. So that duration, the number of days that can be stored, it has reduced now. So like earlier, like in BS3 bikes and all, those days you can literally store fuel for like months, and your bike will start with no issue.
Hmm.
But I mean, that's what he told me. So I need to do some more research on this, and I actually found one article that was claiming that now you cannot store petrol like on even on your motorcycle. You should not store it for more than a month. So
Very less.
we need to get to the insight of that, brother. Like
Yeah.
we will do this more on the further topic. We need to get some insider news on this from, maybe, you never know, the gas supplier, the
Chemical engineering.
right,
We need to find out a chemical engineer.
right.
Or if we have a subscriber who is a chemical engineer,
Wow, can you
we
get
can
him?
find out.
Please do
I
that.
mean, no, I'm asking. I mean, I'm
All
sure
right,
there'll be a
all right.
subscriber who is a chemical engineer. We
Yes, if
have,
you're watching this, please,
thousands of people who watch. Yeah.
you can email
Yes.
us some details to info@inline4news.com. That is our
Inline 4 Productions. News is
uh,
also there.
yeah,
But
news is there.
let us send to info@inline4productions.com for now.
Right. That will be for the
Yeah,
podcasts. So yeah.
that is correct.
So this was one insider news, and
I will put in one more
right, brother.
fact. Okay. See, a long time ago, now this is well over 15 years ago, what happened is that I was driving my Ford Icon,
Right.
and somewhere outside
It
the
was a
city.
legendary car. Let me tell you, I was a big fan of
Thank
that
you.
car.
Yes. So all the women loved me those days, because of the car. Yeah. So I'm talking about almost 20 years ago, actually.
Wow.
This is a 2005 matter. Okay.
Right, brother.
So I was flying aeroplanes that time. I went for my training, and it was outside the city. And when I was coming back, I went to a petrol station, and those days 500 rupees was a lot of money. Okay, you could get more than 10 liters of petrol in 500
Wow.
rupees. So I stopped at a fuel station, I gave him a 500 note, and I said, please fill. So I was looking somewhere, talking to someone, and I turned back and I thought I should only get 10 liters. How come this guy filled in some 14, 15 liters? I was happy, but then I realized he filled in diesel.
Oh shit.
Yeah, into a petrol car. So those days, diesel was very economical, very cheap. It was subsidized. So I
Right.
think diesel was 30 rupees, something like that. So uh, then I asked him, oh my God, what did you do? You filled in some 14 liters of diesel into my petrol car. What should I do now? Uh, so there is a way to extract all of that, but I had to go out somewhere, and it's a long process to extract, fuel from the fuel tank. And I already had some 10 liters of petrol in it. So
Okay.
that petrol has also got contaminated because this person put diesel into the
Right.
fuel tank. Okay. So I said, please, now you call your owner or the supervisor. I'm not happy with this. This is not good at all. So the owner showed up. Very nice gentleman. He said, see, brother, I understand your problem. Okay. It is a mistake of my employee. I understand that. But now, see, what will you do? Take out all the diesel, petrol from your fuel tank. It is going to be a mess for you. It is going to be a mess for me. I'll give you an idea. I said, what is the idea? He said, what is the tank capacity of your car? I said, I think about 45 liters. Okay. So you already had 10 liters before. So we filled in about 14 liters, right?
That's
So let's do one thing. I will give a major discount and you go ahead and fill full tank of petrol, like remaining whatever, another 20
yeah.
liters. So I said, but how will that help? He said, see, because that time majority will be petrol, less will be diesel, so your car will run. I said, no, 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 that is not good for the engine. Then he said, see, you people don't know what actually happens. I said, what happens? He said, the trucks which come to fill petrol into the underground tankers here in the petrol bunk are the same tanks which are used for bringing diesel one day and same tanks which are used for bringing petrol one day. I
Wow.
said, no, this cannot be true because it at the back side it is written,
Petrol.
which is petrol, which is diesel. He said, no. Did you ever notice if it's exactly written, this is petrol, this is diesel? They don't write. Then I said, oh, is it? I don't know if it happens even in today's day and age, but he was vouching. He was telling me, I promise you, brother, the same tanker is used to get petrol, the same one is used to get diesel. Now, here, the issue is, he said, when, for an example, a 10,000 liter tanker comes to my petrol bunk and it empties diesel, still about 1500 liters will be at the bottom, which will not come out.
Okay.
Okay, because the valve
It's placed a
uh,
little, the placement.
little higher. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So this, so that tanker will go back to the depot and probably tomorrow will get petrol. Today they got diesel, tomorrow it will get petrol. So about 15% of petrol is getting contaminated by diesel anyway. Now I don't know if this is true, but he was so confident.
Wow. Then he knew about it. And I'm pretty sure
So,
because I have seen petrol tankers not getting changed over the years. They're the same kind of, fuel tankers that fill up the petrol pump. So yes, what
yeah.
he said was, I think I'm pretty sure it could be correct even in today's time. So
So uh, now I did not listen to him. I took out all the petrol and diesel which was there in my tank
right,
from the Ford Icon. I spent the next 3-4 hours being there. It was a mess anyway. But I mean, I want our subscribers to comment in the comment section if they have any idea if the story that petrol bunk owner told me is real
I'm pretty
because
sure
it is
somebody is
shocking.
there, like someone who's part of,
From the industry,
right.
petroleum industry. Yeah.
So please help us,
So,
clarify our doubts about this.
yeah. One more thing I'll tell you.
Yes, brother.
Okay. Now, I unfortunately have to fill petrol only in the night because that is the only time I go out
Right.
taking my motorcycles. Else in the daytime, it is all mess, so much traffic. Plus, I don't even go out anytime in the day because most of my work is done in the night.
Right.
So, whenever I go to one specific petrol bunk, here in Hyderabad, there is an area known as Balanagar. Okay. I go there, and you know what they do? They do Dead Hushari cheating. Now, Dead Hushari cheating is they think they're very smart. What they do
Wow.
in the night after 10 o'clock, they will say only speed petrol is available. Speed
Right,
or
right.
that
Speed
power,
power.
high performance. Okay. So, they will shut down all the other pumps which are of normal petrol
Okay,
purposely to sell the more expensive petrol. So it happens. It can happen once, twice. So I asked him on the second occasion. I said, "See, last time also I showed up. You said the normal petrol is not there. Now this time, what is the reason?" He said, "The person who fills the normal petrol, he left for the day." Are you go and fill from the normal petrol one, na?
Wow.
You need a specialized skill. You need a certification to do that or what? So third time it happened again. Now this is all within 1 month because my interceptor drinks a lot of petrol, right? I have to
Yeah, yeah. It
every
gives you around 20.
every week I have to fill full tank. So happened third time. I went there again, same issue. So I stopped and I said, "What? Again you have this so-called high octane petrol? You don't have normal petrol?" He said, "No." I told him, "Brother, understand, it is too expensive for me to fill this high performance petrol. Okay. What is that? 114 rupees something, right?
Right. 100 it's 9 rupees or 10 rupees more expensive, I
Too
think.
much, right? It's too expensive."
Right.
So I told him, "I can't, brother. It's too expensive. I mean, I'm coming here every week." Then I got down from the motorcycle. I said, "Now you tell me what is happening. This can't be true." Okay. So he said, "No, sir. See, in the night we only sell high performance petrol." Okay. So I said, "Why in the night? You think we are going racing? No, you tell me something is wrong." So he said, "Sir, we have been instructed by the owner." So then I understood, of course, they want to sell the more expensive petrol. But I got another thing on my head. Now, all viewers, our subscribers, buddies, please answer this. Zoe, you also answer this.
Sure.
Now, he is saying that in the night, the owner has instructed him to shut down the normal petrol pumps and only have the that speed, power, whatever it is, that high octane
Right.
petrol pump. Pump means that station active. So now he's claiming that they are filling speed or power. But how can we be sure that in the underground storage tank there is actually speed or power?
Separate.
They will be separate. But what if they filled normal petrol into that, speed and power tank?
Exactly. That is a
I'll,
matter
I'll
of
repeat.
concern.
I'll repeat this now.
Right.
See, they are saying that they're filling speed,
Right.
okay, into my motorcycle. They're even charging me 114 rupees. Okay. But how can I know that from the tank underground speed or power is coming out? How can I know about that? They might have
I get
some
it.
deal with the tanker which is coming. They might say, "Hey, the normal petrol which is there, the 107 rupees one, fill that into the underground tank of the speed or power." So that machine, the pump will be of speed or power, but what will come out of that? through the hose
May
and
not be.
yeah, and go into your tank might still be the ordinary fuel. Correct?
I do understand, I think I'm pretty sure viewers can relate to this. There's hardly not any kind of transparency, about this.
Big question, right? I mean, how can we verify that? You tell me that.
Right. There's no like a label or something, that we can, okay, it's a 5 liter, we, or not even a transparent case or
Even
something
if,
where we can actually see how it looks like.
yeah, I mean, see, none of us can visually identify this is high octane, this is low octane. Even if you put it into a test tube, can we identify? We can't, right?
No, no, no. We are not, that much of qualified into that.
So, this is a question which got onto my head. I mean, this is a legitimate question, correct?
Right.
So, I mean,
So you might be getting the normal petrol and paying for speed.
correct.
This
Super profitable for the petrol bunk owner.
exactly.
All that the petrol bunk owner has to do is have a understanding with the tanker driver. That's it.
Right, brother. So this is the matter of concern, and
It's a
uh,
multi-billion-dollar fraud if it is happening.
theft easily.
Because imagine it happening across the country, then it is a multi-billion-dollar fraud.
Easily, because by and there's a lot of money that is being
Correct.
flooded into this. We are losing a lot of money every
Correct.
day, and especially people who are they earn with their motorcycles. They
Ah,
do delivery
correct.
jobs, they do
Correct.
bike taxi, and a lot of things. So uh, yes, this is this is what this podcast was about. And Vikas bhai, do we have any action plans on how we can actually avoid these scams?
Very tough, brother.
Or I think
Very tough because,
yes, it's very hard.
what we'll see, most of us, the biggest issue is that most of us have no time to battle all these things. We are working very hard in our life.
Right.
Yeah,
This happens usually when we are rushing to office, or we are going home
exactly.
in a hurry, and we have less fuel. We don't have time and energy to argue and show me the quality of fuel. I don't think I personally, I don't think it's a very long process. But
Now,
all we can do is we can be aware of it. You can share some articles if you have some experience with us, with this kind of scams, if you have any. We will love to publish it on
inline4news.com.
inline4news.com.
Yes.
Right. So please come up, with articles and email us. For the articles, Vikas bhai,
Simple.
the
Info
email address is
at inline4news.com.
right. So we will give you your, we will
Credits.
showcase your
Yeah.
articles, and we would love to share this story with
We'll
other
put your
people
photo
also. There'll
also
be exactly, and
on
yeah.
National
So I think that is the
Motorcycle
best thing
News.
we can do right now, Vikas bhai.
Absolutely. So,
So people will be reading new things, they will be learning about it, and they'll be obviously sharing it with other people. So a lot of people will come to know about this.
see the
And today's podcast will also come in our like a news website.
yes.
So you will be able to read everything out that we had discussed today in the form of an article. So
So
if you still yes, Vikas bhai.
the saddest part is that now in our country, if
Right.
we ride a petrol motorcycle, petrol scams are happening. If we ride an
Exactly.
electric vehicle, there's almost no charging infrastructure. Okay.
Correct.
I mean, nowhere where we have charging infrastructure in public. We don't have charging infrastructure in our apartments. We don't have charging infrastructure in our offices. I'm not talking about top multinational companies. Even they have only
Right.
few charging stations. But regular people work in small offices. They don't have any charging infrastructure. So, and anyhow, EV companies care a flying FUCK about their customers. After they sell the electric vehicle to the
Right.
customers, they don't care a damn about them. Even if,
Yeah, and
yeah.
because by this is where our next podcast topic will come very handy.
Mm.
So, guys, stay tuned for the next podcast. It will be about something about EV, some particular model that we will talk about.
Yeah.
And they have come up with an very interesting solution to this charging
Hmm.
charging hassle. So yeah, so let's finish up today's podcast first. If you got any other
Hey,
questions
before I
about
complete,
this, yes.
as a matter of fact, to battle all of this absolute crap of petrol scams and also
Right.
EV ownership issues, now these days I'm riding a bicycle very often. I'm very serious about this.
Yes,
Uh,
I filled up here on my bicycle as well.
yeah.
So
So
it will give you good
I
exercise.
got a bicycle on a subscription based model from a company known as
Wow.
GRO dot CLUB Grow Club. So I actually got it for Sid, but I'm riding it more often. So
Wow, that's nice. It's it's a very healthy way of
absolutely
doing your exercise and
correct.
commuting. Yes, brother.
Awesome. Thank you.
So that's all, guys. See you on the next episode. That is about a very special motorcycle. Oh, not a motorcycle, an EV. So stay tuned and see you in the next
Yeah.
video.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.